Good evening, folks, and welcome to the live stream. Hope you're all very well this evening. Let's see who we have on tonight. We have Reagan Elite, great to see you. We have Chatty Rat, great to have you on. Hope you're well. We also have Frederick, great to see you. Aki's Mad is here, great to have you on. Hope you're well. Raven 1983 Witch, great to see you. Colin is here, great to have you on, Colin. We have Daily Blase, great to see you. Hope you're fine tonight. We also have Jim, great to see you. Stefan is here. John O'Sullivan is here. We have Unquiet Spirit, great to see you once again. Shell is on, great to see you. We have Killer, thanks for moderating, Killer, tonight. We have also, let me see, Viking President Stew of Stewland, great to see you once again. Hope you're fine tonight. Liam is here, great to see you. We have Alistair Kerr, great to see you, Alistair. Mark Teffler, great to see you. Bernie Burrows is here, great to see you, Bernie. Who else have we got? FY is on. We have also Mark Wilkie, great to see you. We also have Cavan Lad, great to see you, Cavan Lad. Hope you're fine. Number 3 is here, great to see you once again. The chat is moving quite quickly, so I have to try my best to say hello to everyone. We have Mark Leslie, great to see you, Mark. Hope you're fine tonight. And I think that's it. Hey, I hope everyone's well. Hope you had a nice week and you're ready for another weekend of madness. Before we get into some of the topics of tonight, I just wanted to start off with this shocking story from Northern Ireland. So, I don't know if you can see on your screen here, it says here, Northern Ireland and England hospital waiting comparison. So, a comparison between Northern Ireland and England. England and Wales, I think, are generally linked, but it seems to be just England here. You can see at the top of the scale, neurology, waiting times for neurology. So, in England, it's about, let me see, so it's about less than a year, just under a year. While in Northern Ireland, it's 6.5 years. Just think about that. The waiting list for neurology is 6.5 years. Under a year in England, 6.5 years in Northern Ireland. And what are the DUP complaining about at the moment? Are they worried about any of these things? No, they're worried about the Northern Ireland Protocol. They're worried about the Windsor Framework. The TUV, the Traditional Unionist Voice, are they talking about health and the state of the health service in Northern Ireland? No, they're concerned about flags, or they're concerned about road signs. Road fucking signs. I'm trying to moderate my language here. Like, there are real issues in Northern Ireland like this. People waiting up to 6.5 years for treatment. And the unionist parties in Northern Ireland seem to be focused mainly on the Northern Ireland Protocol, the sea border, which has existed even before Brexit. Because if you look at, and I think it was Arlene Foster was talking about it a couple of days ago, about, we can't get stuff sent to Northern Ireland. It has always been like that. Because Northern Ireland, if you're getting something sent within England, within Great Britain even, I think even Scotland, in some cases, some companies would refuse to ship to parts of Scotland because it's far away and there's an extra cost. Well, add Northern Ireland to that, and in many cases, producers, generally small producers in Great Britain, would not sell to Northern Ireland because of the cost, because you have to pay the extra cost of travelling the Irish Sea. Yeah, road fucking signs. So anyone who doesn't know, there are the likes of the DUP are complaining about signs containing both English and Irish or Gaelic, and that seems to be their biggest concern at the moment. Or the Northern Ireland Protocol, or the Irish Sea border, which are of course a consequence of Brexit, which they campaigned for. But because the Northern Ireland Executive is not up and running, it means that the money that should be allocated to different departments is not getting allocated as it should be. And it means that, of course, if there isn't enough funding, well, then hospitals have to delay certain surgeries or delay certain treatments, or they're not sure of how to plan future treatments. So it means that delays are, of course, increasing. Queue of ambulances at major hospitals. They need road signs, Max, because they're also lost as a party. Yeah, and add it in whatever languages you want, because maybe more languages would help. Would help the DUP find their way. Can I go there and write it in Italian too? Yes, good job. Good idea, Vikings too. Bravo. Anyone know a brass welder? A brass welder? Is there such thing as a brass welder? Dinosaurs under pretense. It's just insane. You see here, and it's not just neurology. You go down the list here: oral surgery, urology, ear, nose, and throat, for example, waiting of up between 208 and 260 weeks. You know, people waiting years for treatment. Why? Because the DUP don't want to get into the executive. Why do the DUP not want to get into the executive? Because of the Northern Ireland Protocol. What's the problem with the protocol? It's the type of Brexit that they didn't want. It's not the Brexit they voted for, not the Brexit they campaigned for. Because, of course, and I keep banging on about this, but it has to be said, the DUP wanted a hard border on the island of Ireland. And they didn't get their way because no one is that insane. The EU is not that insane. The British government, even with Boris Johnson in charge at the time, is not that insane. So they were like, no, we're not going to put a border on the island of Ireland because that would mess up the Good Friday Agreement. It would require infrastructure. If checks are being carried out on the border, it would need infrastructure. And it stipulates in the Good Friday Agreement that infrastructure needs to be removed, not added to. And of course, you have hundreds of border crossings in between Northern Ireland and the Republic. About 200 and something, 250 or something like that, border crossings. So you'd need to have infrastructure. You'd basically need to have a wall on the border if you wanted to check goods, to make sure that goods were being checked. And of course, the response from Arlene Foster and the DUP were, well, you don't need to actually have that. You could have a system where the British government will make sure that checks are carried out in Britain. Like, they can't even carry out checks at the moment on goods coming into the UK. Why would anyone believe that checks will be carried out on goods moving from the UK into the single market? Like, the checks have to be carried out at the border between the third country and the single market. Like, the EU is not going to trust the Brexiteers to carry out these checks. Like, they was okay, we're going to trust you to carry them out in Northern Ireland because we don't, because Northern Ireland's a particular case, but we're not going to trust you to carry them out and to punish companies who break the rules. And the DUP classic, I'm taking my ball home. Yes. It's just really sad that ordinary people are now suffering the consequences of the DUP's decision not to go into government with Sinn Féin. Like, we talk about Brexit, we talk about the Northern Ireland Protocol, but at the end of the day, it was the DUP had promised, in a sense, not to go into government with Sinn Féin. If Sinn Féin became the biggest party, Sinn Féin became the biggest party. They had the choice of First Minister, and the DUP went, we're not going along with that. And to hell with the people of Northern Ireland. To hell with people on waiting lists. Let the waiting lists rise. Let unemployment rise. Let's trash Northern Ireland. Like, they're supposed to be a unionist party. The DUP, Democratic Unionist Party. And they're the ones who are making it more and more likely they're fueling a united Ireland. Because the longer they stay out of government, the more they show that Northern Ireland doesn't work. And the Irish government will say, and those supporters of a united Ireland will say, well, okay, well, there is an alternative. There is an alternative